Hey guys, Aries VGC here, back with another Road to Masterball and Beyond. I believe this is episode 4. I'm actually recording this before the time of release because I'm actually going on vacation. So if I miss an upload, anything like that, you guys know why. We're actually using a different team now that we've hit Great Ball. Due to that, it's actually a similar team to what I've been using, just with a few different spreads and a few different Pokemon. It's more hyper offensive than what I believe I was running, but with more bulk and more support in the back lines. And I'm pretty familiar with the team. It was on one PokePaste channel, just outlining a bunch of Regulation D teams and different battles, to be honest with you. It mostly concerns Chen Pao and how it can support its other Pokemon partners, along with bulky substitute Fluttermane and Heatran in the back, along with partner Pokemon like Dragonite, Tornadus, and one last one that I don't remember off the top of my head, but we're going to be using that today instead of the team that we made at the beginning of the series. Hope you enjoy. I really feel like I have a decent grasp on this team since it's Pokemon that I've used, and there's some like similar spreads on there. But other than that, have fun. So our first game of the day is up against Thomas, and this is a pretty scary team regarding offense. What I'm immediately seeing is Tornadus and Urshifu, along with Basculegion and Thunderous Therian form. He does have two counters, the E-Speed Dragonite, which is unfortunate. I think it can do a lot here, and he has Queenly Majesty. So I don't think Dragonite is really a good choice to bring here. I do like the idea of... We do have special attacking booster Fluttermane. What I would enjoy here is Qianpao Urshifu lead to see what we can do. And then... what I'm afraid of is a double knockout first turn. So Urshifu Tornadus I think is a safe lead. And then going into Qianpao and most likely... I want to say Heatran here. Heatran is Terra Bug, which is something to note, which I thought was odd, but cool to try out. I feel like Fluttermane is good here. Getting Tailwind up, obviously, and doing more damage in the back with that substitute pressure. So I think we can stick with this and be fine. Having the Tauren Urshi lead is normally pretty good. And I don't think my opponent selected in time, actually. Let's find out. But yeah, I'm mostly scared of the potential Swift Swim, obviously, from Basculegion. So one thing I don't want to do is basically let that Basculegion get set up for free. So I'm honestly expecting... Oh, wow, okay. So this is an interesting lead. So I do have Aqua Jet on this Urshifu, actually. And this is a bulkier set. And it's not Focus Sash, it is Mystic Water. So I think instead of Surging Strikes into the Goldengo, I'd like to target the Tornadus for Tailwind setup. And then we can Tailwind ourselves. And see how that goes. I think next turn I do want to taunt into that Goldengo slot to see how much it does. We are pretty bulky Urshifu set, and I don't know if we live a Thunderbolt from any Goldengo slot. But, okay, so their Tailwind goes up first. Our Tailwind goes up now. So now we're on the same speed tier. I'm honestly expecting a Make It Rain, because we are both bulky. Surging Strikes comes out onto their Tornadus. This looks close. Yep, okay. I'm assuming a Thunderbolt comes out here? Yep. I don't know if this lives. It does not. That's okay. So... that's not too good. We can send in Flutter here. I do want to bait a... We are special attack boosting. But I don't believe we're faster than the Tornadus under Tailwind, unfortunately. Because we do have we have a fair amount of... I'll protect here. I'm not comfortable with protecting, actually. I feel like a Make It Rain would knock this out. So I think I want to double protect a Scout. But that leaves them open to set up Rain Dance for Basket Legion, which is unfortunate. I think I'd like to substitute. I feel more comfortable with just Shadow Balling and Bleak Winding to guarantee the KO. I have a feeling we'll see Make It Rain come out. Yeah, probably Steel type, I'd assume. Yeah. Okay, so we are special attack boosted. Rain Dance does come out. We are going to be faster than Goldengo. That's a lot of damage. So Bleak Wind is 100% accurate, but we're going to get double targeted by whatever we get hit by. It looked like Choice Specs damage, but I could be wrong. Yeah, okay. So it is Choice Specs damage. Okay, so that's actually really good for us. So taking that risk was worth it. One thing I am scared about is that Basket Legion coming out. That doesn't bode very well for us, unfortunately. I feel like they would have to target into Tornadus. Paragirl? I don't know that name, actually. Yeah, Basket Legion. I think letting Flutter go down here, actually, is worth. Because from the range that Shadow Ball did, they're going to have to target Tornadus. And I think Bleak Wind can kind of carry us out of this match. No Terra, obviously. I don't think Last Respects is going to do enough, but I think we can Bleak Wind here and be safe if we protect on Flutter. Because Thunderbolt can just KO our Tornadus due to Choice Specs. Yep. So Last Respects does go into that Flutter main slot, and hopefully Bleak Wind lowers. Okay, that's actually really good. Speed does drop. Good, okay, so we're actually in a really good position here. Even though Tornadus does go down, I did lower the speed on that Goldengo. So, presumably they're choice locked. So here I'd like to Shadow Ball and just Sucker Punch. We are Focus Sash. So I think just Shadow Balling here and Sucker Punching into the Basket Legion slot is the better play. There's no Terra potential. Hopefully this Sucker Punch KOs the Basket Legion itself. I don't know if they have any bulk invested though. It could be a Choice Scarf bulky set with Last Respects. Nope, okay, so that's perfect. So we do KO the Basket Legion with Sucker Punch, and then have Goldengo knocked out with Shadow Ball from our Flutter Main. And we are in Rain, and we still have Focus Sash attacked, along with our special attack boost on the Flutter Main booster energy, so I don't know who our last Pokemon is from our opponent. Both Tailwinds do peter out. We do still have Rain up. Urshifu. So here we can just Moonblast, and let's break a potential Focus Sash here. One thing I am scared about is that Aqua Jet, but that would go through Protect on Flutter Main. And this is a bulkier set, so I don't know how much damage it would do. I'm assuming they Surging Strikes into Qianpao, but we'll have to see what our... Okay, so they do go for an attack. Aqua Jet does come out from my opponent's end. Okay. So let's Terra in case they close combat, and then just Sacred Sword into that slot. So we do Terra Ghost here. Do we see an Aqua Jet? Sacred Sword does come out. Surging Strikes does come out. And we actually just lost. Unfortunate, but yeah. I kind of expected that to happen. I didn't really see a way out with that, even though it was Urshifu in the rain, so... Again, that's a harder part of learning this team, is to who have out front and who have out back, because although I am familiar with playing this team, or not this team specifically, it's like these mons can kind of interchange. So let's see what we can do against the next opponent. I do know how I can play better next time, just through positioning on that. And yeah, hopefully we get the next one. I think definitely bringing someone else like Urshifu would have helped, but we are on to the next game already. So this is a scary team. There are elements of TR in it. So we have Ursulana, Torkoal, Lilligant, and wow, there's a lot of Pokemon in here that are actually really scary. They don't have anything for priority moves. I'm very inclined to have Tornadus and Urshi in the back. I'm not thrilled. I think leading Torn Urshi would be really good here. I think Lilligant does outspeed us. In that sense, I'd like to have Dragonite Qianpao in case they lead TR. I think Tornadus Urshi stops both leads here, and Torn can't be guaranteed O-Code by Eruption after Rain is set up. In that case, I'd like to stick with this. I'm not comfortable in Heatran coming out, and Flutter looks like it'll be overwhelmed, but it could have been good in certain scenarios. Again, the hardest part of this is learning this team and actually getting acquainted with Reg D. But yeah, let's try and do our best. So they actually lead. Wow, okay. I'm extremely tempted to just Terra Grass here. That way we have a lot of resistances. And Surging Strikes into that Regieleki. And our opponent doesn't have any Tailwind or speed options besides Electroweb, but after Tailwind I will outspeed it. So I think we can just Tailwind here and be safe. So this is a slower Urshifu, so I don't think our opponent Terra'd anything. And we do hit the Terra Grass button. Tailwind comes up. And I believe Surging Strike should KO Alecki. That's good. We are -1 on Urshifu. Surging Strikes is enough to KO Alecki outright, so that's really good. I don't know if our opponent clicked on Urshifu though, it could very well be Surging Strikes into Tornadus, which would not be really good if they have an endgame for Cress and Ursa. Close Combat actually comes out. We do survive that. That's really good. So this bulky Urshifu set is actually really helping. Cress comes out, which is not very good. I have reason to believe it's a... I do want to reset the... I do want to reset the speed here, so I think... Let's save Urshifu for later. Switch into Dragonite here, and then taunt into this Cresselia, which is... I could see it being Mental Herb. But even to just ensure that it gets nothing up. Probably Terra Dark. Terra Fairy. Interesting. Okay, so Detect does come out. Taunt comes into Cresselia. Mental Herb does come out. Jerkram does come out. Okay. So here's the hard part. Locking into Aerial Ace wouldn't be bad. But the problem is stalling out Trick Room here. I like Aerial Acing into Urshifu, and then just... we're gonna get... I don't think we're gonna get a Bleak Wind off, so I like Aerial Acing here because of -1 and then just taunting into Cress. Yep, Aqua Jet comes out. Taunt comes out. Moonblast comes out, presumably into Dragonite. That's fine. Special attack does drop. Aerial Ace comes out. Does a ton to Urshifu. So that Sash is broken. What I want to do here is save Dragonite for endgame. But I don't know how valuable it will be, so I feel like knocking it out now actually wouldn't be bad. Losing this duo here is fine, potentially. So we live that on 4 with a crit, and Moonblast presumably comes out into Dragonite. Yep. I think we live another one of these? We don't. We get a double miss on Bleak Wind. Unfortunate, but it happens. So our Focus Sash is going to be broken anyway, and we've already wasted Terra, so it's going to be really hard for us to fight out of this. If we can just manage to get another Bleak Wind up, that's... So this team does struggle with like Mental Herb and dealing with Cress. From what I've noticed, it's really difficult to actually do that. I think I led wrong as well, so that obviously could be another problem. I could have just led Dragonite and Chenpao. So Chenpao looks like it's going down here. I could have maybe protected to stall out Trick Room, but even still, this Urshifu on the board is really, really annoying. And we do connect on Bleak Wind, which doubles it. Unfortunately, I wish I could have gotten rid of that. So Taunt does wear off. Expecting Ursalana here. Yeah, so here we can just double protect, let Flame Orb do its thing on Ursulana. Unfortunately, this is looking really grim. Because next turn they can just Lunar Blessing anything I did to them. Or just target down Urshifu with Moonblast. So we get double protect off here. Ally Switch comes out. Huh. And Facade does come out. Okay, so this is potentially... So we do see that Flame Orb come out onto Ursulana. We can Surging Strikes Ursulana and Taunt to potentially get rid of that Trick Room. I think that's our best case scenario. Because we don't want Lunar Blessing going up. No more Mental Herb, no more Ally Switch. Hopefully... So Surging Strikes is more than enough to actually KO this Ursulana. And we know it's not Berry. Trick Room? I don't even know if Trick Room's gonna go up. Let's see what they do. They probably target Tornadus here. Yep, Moonblast. Okay, that's fine. Moonblast and Urshi. Yeah, okay. Unfortunate, but we did kind of bring it back there. We need to definitely lead better with our Pokemon. So unfortunately, we do need to either bring better Pokemon or lead better with Pokemon. I don't think the Flutter Mane would have really helped here. It wouldn't have been bad, but how do you deal with that specifically? In that case, it's like Trick Room is really, really hard to deal with for this team from what I've noticed, especially if it's Mental Herb. And playing around it is also really hard. I think bringing Heatran in the back for a Trick Room team definitely would have been better. But after that review, we can just keep going and see how this team plays out. So our next battle is a very hyper offense team. I like the idea of Dragonite Qianpao here, just for hyper offense. I understand. Do we have multi-scale, right? No, we do have inner focus, which is good. Okay. I like the idea of having Flutter in the back as well, but not sure how I feel in the Torn. Torn over Urshifu? I'd like to bring Heatran to one of these games, but it's very threatened, I feel like, without speed. Because our opponent has a lot of things to deal with it. I like Urshi here, just for backline support. But the question is, do I want Flutter or Tornadus? I'd rather Torn Flutter. That way Tailwind can go up, I can just roll with Moonblast. Let's try this. Hopefully what we can do is get early picks onto... Okay, so Arcanine and Qianpao. Sort of Ruin. Sort of Ruin. I'm assuming Intimidate? No, so it is Rockhead. What I'd like to do is Terra Normal, Stomping Tantrum, and then potentially Sucker. It's aggressive, but I don't want to risk the Qianpao Terra Ghosting. And I don't want to get head smashed. Let's Stomping, and Burst in the back, right? Now we Flutter. Okay. Let's Protect here, just to be safe. We do see a Terrestrialization. Hopefully it's Terra Ghost Qianpao. It's Arcanine, and they're Terra Normal. Extreme Speed? That's something I didn't expect. Huh, really weird. So I think we're in the disadvantaged state right now. Qianpao protects. We can find out if they're Scarf or not. Ice Spinner, so they're not Scarf. And... okay, we do get Protect off with Flare Blitz. Stomping Tantrum comes out. Does a lot to Arcanine. I'm comfortable with... I don't want to switch and lose Flutter here. I'm comfortable with stomping into Qianpao and Sucker Punching into Arcanine to get hopefully a potential KO. Sucker Punch comes out, and Arcanine's down. Okay, so my opponent's Terrestrialization is down. I didn't expect that Terra Normal to come out. I thought it would be Terra Grass or anything else. Signet Sword comes out. Stomping Tantrum. Okay, about half. Who comes in here, though? We know that Qianpao and my Qianpao are tied for speed because of Sword of Ruin activation. What I'd like to do here is guarantee at least a knockout onto Qianpao. And Ice Spinner into Flutter Mane, potentially. Flutter does protect, which is good. Sucker Punch comes out, into Dragonite, it does KO. So this isn't too great here. Ice Spinner comes out, Flutter Mane protects. The question is, who do I bring out here? Because Flutter... let's try Flutter. I think what I want to do is protect, and then Ice Spinner into... or actually, I could get Sucker Punched. So let's break a potential Sash and Sucker Punch into Flutter Mane. I think what my opponent wants to do is probably Ice Spinner into Flutter Mane because he knows I'm slower. And I want to protect here and Sucker Punch Flutter to try and get rid of any Focus Sash, if there is any. So Flutter protects here. Sucker Punch does come out, which is good. Wow, that did a lot of damage. And Shadow Ball actually connects. Huh. So we're left in a weird situation here. So Flutter has an Invisible Sash. I'd like to substitute and potentially sucker into Qianpao because I don't think they want to lose their Flutter here. But on the off chance that that does happen, this is really hard actually. Let's try to go to that and then Sucker Punch main. I'm fine with losing my boost. I don't think that Flutter does protect here. Okay. Ideal World Qianpao goes down on my... so Sucker Punch comes out for Qianpao. So I'm gonna try and Sucker Punch Flutter again. Or I could Mind Game my opponent and Sacred into Qianpao. I think I'll double protect here and see what they do. Flutter comes back. Urshi. Okay, that's not great. That's really not good, because they can Aqua Jet here. Ice Spinner, okay. So that's kind of bad. Let's Tailwind here. And I like the idea of switching out into Fluttermane because I think they'll Aqua Jet. That gives Fluttermane access to the entire board. Our Tailwind comes out. I don't know if I misplayed this. Tailwind comes out. I'm assuming Aqua Jet or KOing Landorus. Or Tornadus, sorry. Aqua Jet comes out. Ice Spinner comes out. I can't tell if I misplayed this or not. Because I think I live another Aqua Jet. Oh, but then he can just Aqua Jet into Qianpao. Okay, I played this really bad. Let's Sucker Punch Moonblast, see if that does anything. It doesn't KO. That's really annoying. Yeah. I played that really bad. I don't think I really had an out there, to be honest. It's just really annoying. I thought I had upper hand. I shouldn't have... I probably should have switched out Dragonite when I had the chance, because I had Tailwind up. Yeah, I played that really bad. I think with that, I could have probably kept Qianpao and Dragonite together and just let them go down together. But that would have guaranteed that... yeah, I could have actually done that. I could have let them go down together. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. So we are at the very bottom of Great Ball tier. We are 9-6. It's not a bad record, but I'd like to get higher, obviously. I'm not used to playing on ladder, but I do really want to learn this team as well. So we're finding trainers really quick today. So we're up against Akira. And yeah, this is a hard Trick Room core. So this is kind of scary. I think having Dragonite Qianpao lead into a Trick Room team is risky. We really are facing our like worst matchups, aren't we? Heatran looks okay. Kind of, not really actually. It has Flash Fire. Let's try Qianpao Dragonite. Or let's try Qianpao Urshifu. And we can go Dragonite, maybe Heatran? Or Flutter? I think I like Heatran more. Let's try this. I don't want to run the mistake of basically just losing to Trick Room. In a perfect world, I'd like to see Ursalana and Cressley, but it's probably going to be Hans Cress. Yeah. Okay. So that's Not great. So I think I can protect here. Protecting here isn't bad. I think I'd like to go into Dragonite. And keep Urshifu for the back. Presumably he fakes out the Dragonite slot. Tech comes out. Fake out does go into the... Okay. What I would not like to do is Terra here. I would really like to Ice Spinner the Iron Hand slot. Terra Ghost doesn't really provide me with anything. Let's Ice Spinner and Locker Cell. Terraing here isn't a bad option. Let's try it. I don't think hands 1-hit KOs are because we are a bulkier split. So let's see how much damage we do with this. Crest does protect, that's really good. Extreme Speed comes out. Hits into the Iron Hands and does a ton of damage. Drain Punch does come out though, onto our Chien-Pao. It's probably going to heal a lot. Ice Spinner comes out, hits the Iron Hands. Okay, that's fine. The one bad thing is, I don't know if they have Ally Switch. In this case, I'd like to protect. And maybe target hands, because it'll do damage either way. I can't risk them. They switch into probably Basket Legion. Torkoal. Huh. So they are saving Fake Out for later. I'm assuming Moonblast? Extreme Speed does come out on our end. Does a ton to Torkoal, so we're just... Moonblast does come out. So I'd like to say to myself, in reality, am I fine with having Sun Up? Which the answer is kind of not really. I have a strong feeling Moonblast is going to come out. I'd like to Sucker Punch the Torkoal and Extreme Speed the Crest. Just to get damage off. Torkoal does protect, unfortunately. The Extreme Speed does come out. If I had Sucker Punch the Crest, I would have been fine, but it does a ton of damage. Sucker Punch goes into Torkoal, that's okay. Moonblast does come out, does KO our Chien-Pao, that's fine. We still have a ton of damage done onto a lot of Pokemon, which is really good. And now I think we can just send out Heatran. What I'd like to do is Extreme Speed into the Torkoal slot, and then single target Heat Wave, or sorry, Extreme Speed into the Torkoal slot, guaranteed first hit, and then Heat Wave single target into the Cresselia. That way we get Torkoal out of the way, and hopefully Sun dies down by the time that our Urshifu comes back onto the field. So Dragonite's putting in a lot of work and actually kind of saving us this game. Psychic comes out into... So we've seen all four moves. We've seen Psychic, This does connect, which is really good, and it is down. So that means no more Trick Room. I think Trick Room expires this turn? Yep, Trick Room expires this turn. And we do have Inner Focus, thankfully. Iron Hands comes out. And that is definitely an extreme speed range. Ursulana comes out. So I do want to stall this Sun. So let's extreme speed into the Iron Hands and prevent any damage from going onto our Heatran. I kind of know for a fact that this Ursulana is probably not faster than our own Heatran. I think we do have some investment. Extreme speeding into the Iron Hands is guaranteed because we do have Inner Focus and not multi-scale. So we do get Fake Outed. Extreme speed comes out. And no Protect from Ursulana, actually. I'm presuming Headlong Rush. Earthquake, actually. Wow, okay. This isn't Burn, so I don't think this is going to do a lot of damage, unless it's Banded. Wow, it did a lot of damage. Never mind. What I'd like to do here is just Heat Wave, keep the pressure up, and Extreme Speed into Ursulana, just to guarantee any damage. Extreme Speed comes out. Does a ton of damage to Ursulana. Heat Wave does connect, and it's a KO. So that's our first one of the day. We played really well against basically our worst matchup for this team. I do think I positioned and essentially played around Dragonite Chien-Pao really well. In our earlier matches with Trick Room, I definitely think that's what I should have led with earlier, just to essentially prevent Trick Room from ever going up. In this matchup, I feel like it's super important. If you want to be hyper offensive, you have to target the right Pokemon. And while I didn't know that we had Ally Switch, obviously, on the Cresselia from the other slot, I think targeting it down anyway would have been the better idea, due to it just having insane damage output. And I think I was too scared of the Ghost Terra, and in learning this, I think I need to play more aggressively if I want to actually counter that Trick Room from going up. But a good learning experience, and let's go to the last battle of the day. So our last matchup is against a more aggressive form of Trick Room, but also manageable. What I am worried about is Terra Ghost, I know I just said this, Terra Ghost Chi-Yu, and the Flutter Mane lead. I think what we can do against that is Tornadus Flutter Mane, force an early Terra onto the hopefully opposing Chi or Flutter Mane, and then have Dragonite and Chien-Pao in the back. I'm not comfortable with having Urshifu go up against both Cresselia, Flutter Mane, and Regieleki, so I'd rather have Dragonite in that last slot. I do want to get the Tailwind up first so we can guarantee that we actually have a consistent answer to the Flutter Mane and Urshifu on the other side, and obviously something to watch out for is Scarf Urshifu and Scarf Chi-Yu here. I don't necessarily believe it'll be that, but kind of rethinking this, Heatran wouldn't be a bad option here. I think I'll stick with this. This is what I'm more comfortable with, and I actually have a ground plan for this. The reason I said Heatran last second, obviously it can abuse Trick Room elements. I have a feeling that Flutter Mane could be in Prison, Trick Room. I don't know if... Obviously I have to watch out for Scarf. That's our biggest thing. So Electro Web here. This is going to be dangerous. We do have the special attack boost. Yeah, this is scary. I think we guarantee to lose Amon first turn in place of like Regieleki or the I think we can safely double protect this first, because I don't think they're gonna reliably set anything up. So Torn protects. No Terra from my opponent. Fluttermane does end up protecting. Electroweb. Okay. Electroweb Heatwave? Yep, Electroweb Heatwave. Okay, so that, I think, guarantees the Oko onto Torn, unfortunately. So let's try and get Tailwind set up. I'm Ghost Terra, so that's not going to really do anything. So let's Tailwind here and take the Moonblast onto Regieleki and see where we can go with it. Tailwind comes out. I don't think we're faster than Regieleki under Tailwind. Yeah, we're not. Does a lot of damage to Torn. I think Fluttermane still survives a Heat Wave. Moonblast comes out. Regieleki is down. Heat Wave miss? No, fortunately not. So Flutter does survive on 12 HP. We did get Tailwind up. They do... That's Life Orb, okay. So they do have the possibility of... I don't think they have any Trick Room backline. So I think we could be safe to Terra. So... a dangerous game we could play. Could Terra here and go to Cress and then swap Qianpao. I like the Extreme Speed option, and I like the Shadow Ball option now that we're under Tailwind. So let's try it. This could guarantee us being under Trick Room or out of Trick Room. Dragonite gets the E-Speed off. Does a ton of damage to Cress. That is a crit. Berry pops. Probably Citrus. Okay, Citrus comes out. Shadow Ball connects, and Cress goes down. Okay, so that guarantees us no Trick Room, I guess? Heat Wave connects on both, unfortunately. Okay, that's completely fine by me. So we are still under Tailwind, thankfully. But who is in the back is the real question. Urshi. So this is kind of a predicament. They haven't Terra'd yet, and I feel like they could be Terra Ghost Chiyu. Let's Sacred to try and guarantee a kill, or KO onto Chiyu. Don't be Terra Ghost Chiyu. That would not be fun. Okay. Terra Water. Okay, that's fine. So we're under Tailwind. We're going to be faster than this Aqua Jet. She protects. That's okay. Presumably Focus Sash. Hopefully not Focus Sash, obviously. It doesn't even KO. Wow. Okay. Into this Dragonite slot. So what we can do to potentially win this game is Sacred back into Chiyu, because we can't reliably take it out with Sucker, obviously. We are focus, so we can sucker the Aqua Jet. Perfect. Sacred Sword goes into Chiyu. Nice. Good KO. And now we can just Ice Spinner and Tailwind Peters out here. Ice Spinner will be fine. I'm just double checking that we do have Focus Sash intact. We can Ice Spinner, and we will be completely fine. Nice. So that is a decent showcase. Obviously, I'll be using this team a lot more in the next coming episodes. I think it was a decent showcase of basically getting to know the team more and team testing. Team testing and team building is half of, if not more important, of the actual games you play when you play with the team. I basically just learned the synergy between the team, how it went, and how it basically functioned against other teams. I didn't expect E-Speed Band, Terra Normal Trick, or Under Trick Room to actually be beneficial for me because I couldn't be oppressed essentially. I didn't expect Crest to take that much damage, and essentially I just didn't realize that basically doubling targets with that Torn Flutter combo when Torn went down, even though I get the Tailwind up, I could still hit the Cresselia for super effective damage, and I'm really glad I targeted that slot initially. Even though Regieleki was down, I was super scared of Trick Room getting set up for anything in the back. And I don't know if it went for Trick Room for the Urshifu, but I think that still would have been really bad because I had the Chien-Pao in the back. And that obviously would have undersped, so Aqua Jet would have gone first and essentially OHKO'd my Pokemon. So I'm glad that I did get that E-Speed off with Dragonite first and essentially secured me that game. But yeah, I think that was a decent showcase. I really like this team so far. I like the hyper aggression with it, and I like how it can counter other Pokemon. Obviously, since it's not OTS, I don't know things like Mental Herb, Choice Scarf. So getting to know like different Pokemon's items and weaknesses through ladder while we're still learning in Reg D. As of recording this, it's only the 9th of July. So we're only 9 days in to the newest ladder and newest format of Pokemon, in VGC specifically, so hopefully we can keep learning and continue. And hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Obviously, like and subscribe if you want to see more. But yeah, that should be about it. I appreciate you guys watching the episode. Like and sub, I said, if you want more. I am learning a lot from this. I hope you guys are too. But yeah, have fun. Stay safe. Bye-bye.